Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are actually changing things up a little bit. I am not cleaning downstairs. I'm actually on the second floor of my house and we are going to be tackling some things up here. Throughout the week this just got too crazy, too messy. It was kind of like an out of sight, out of mind sort of deal. So we are going to tackle my kiddos' rooms and tidy those up, and then we are doing a closet declutter, clean out, kind of changeover for the new season. And I am so happy that I did that and that we are ready for the fall and winter seasons. So now that you know what we're working with, we are just going to go ahead and get started. I am going to change out the sheets on my son's bed. I didn't end up doing them on my daughter's bed just because of time constraints. Hers is from this company called Betty's, so it's like a sheet and comforter all in one. So I can't really just change them out. I have to wash them while she's awake and get them put on before she sleeps, which normally isn't a big deal, but I started later in the morning and already had a load of laundry in, so I knew I wouldn't have time to take care of it. My son just has a stuffy nose, so I'm moving his humidifier over on the side of his bed just so little fingers are less tempted to touch it. I am actually one of those weirdos who absolutely loves decluttering and organizing and going through closets, so I was so excited for this video. And before I got to do like what I view as my reward of going through the closets, I made myself kind of like restock everything, tidy things up, put things back where they belong, because when you declutter a space, if you've done it before, you might know that it sometimes gets worse before it gets better. And so I definitely wanted to make sure my space was clean, because if I was decluttering and making my space worse, I didn't want to start off on the wrong foot. So just going ahead and changing out the sheets, getting everything put back and as clean as I can before we start the closet process. So I am really trying my best to tackle one room at a time. I kind of ping pong a lot and I'm all over the place when I clean. You know, I'm taking the sheets downstairs and then I see the sink is messy and I clean the sink, and then I look over and I see something's on the table and I go to grab it and then I feel the need to wipe the table down. And so I'm like one of those kind of people, a little scatterbrained, but I am trying my best. Hey Jax man, I'm trying my best to stay in one room and get that cleaned up before I move on to the next room. It just helps when you know like for sure one space is clean. Also, I was on a time crunch with my son since he was going down for his nap. Here is Jax's room with the windows open. I just love the natural light. I feel like it makes it look so much better. If you're curious on like a nursery tour or how I organize things when my kiddos were newborns, I have a video that I can link down below for you all if that interests you. Now I'm in my daughter's room, and if you don't know, my son Jax, he is about 13 months old, and then my daughter Josie, she's a little over 2.5, and so it's crazy busy but super fun. And I am just opening up the windows. I like to do this in any space that I'm cleaning or tidying. I just feel like it helps to bring in the sunlight and it just feels so much better and makes the space feel bright and airy. And then I'm going to just tackle the things in her room and get those put away so that we can hopefully move on to the closet soon. So I'm definitely a firm believer that if you can do it while your kids are awake, you should do it while they're awake. So like cleaning and doing the dishes or vacuuming, like all those kinds of things, don't wait till they're asleep because you need to fill your cup when you have time to. But I will say cleaning while kids are awake takes like 3 times as long, and the closet cleanouts are not something I can do while they're asleep, obviously, because it's in their room. And so you definitely kind of have to like mentally prepare and know that you might clean spaces 2 or 3 times. I know that like once my hands are on something, my kids see that I'm over there and they're like, oh wow, that looks fun, that looks cool. And so I do have to clean things a couple times. Now, you might be wondering, what the heck are you doing with all of these stuffed animals, dumping them out? Well, my kids mixed them all up, and I have a 2.5-year-old who's very territorial of her things, and so I'm just going through these and making sure she's got the stuffed animals she wants in her room, and then I can have Jax's stuffed animals go back to his room too. So we are clean and we are tidy, and now we are moving on to the closets. So for my daughter's closet especially, I don't have it organized or set up the way that I would like to, but I am just using what I have and doing the best that I can. I hope that this video is encouraging you to know that you don't have to have the perfect closet set up. You don't need to have a bunch of bins and whatnot or go buy a bunch of things. You can really use what you have and just kind of maximize it. Yes, those things are like helpful when you are decluttering and organizing, but you can still have a more organized space with the items and things that you already have. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm checking sizes on things, and if things are a size too small, I'm either going to donate or put those in keepsake boxes, and then I am deciding what is out of season that I want to keep, what is out of season that I'm going to donate, and what is stained or damaged beyond repair that I am just going to go ahead and get rid of. Also, the silly noises in the background are my little helper. Jax is helping me do this voiceover, so I apologize for the background noise. I have such a weakness for little kids' clothes, especially for my daughter. I just absolutely love going and looking at clothes, buying her clothes, having her dress up in certain clothes. She's a total dress girly, and she has recently said that her favorite colors are pink and purple, so she is definitely that vibe. But I love just shopping and finding different things for her. I don't need it, but where are your favorite places to shop for both girls and boys for toddler clothes? I'm a big fan of Old Navy, and I like doing Kohl's and Walmart too. I just think you can find such cute clothes for a really cheap and good price. So I have a lot of piles going on. I have a pile of clothes that I am just storing away for the spring and summer. I have a donation pile, and I do have a trash pile. If I have things with holes in them or stained to the point where I couldn't get the stains out, those are just things I just don't really want to donate. I also had a pile of things I am moving into my son's room that no longer fit Josie but are gender neutral and would fit him. Josie is currently 3T and my son is 24 months or a 2T, just depending on what he's wearing. So I can kind of move things that don't fit her right into his closet if they're gender neutral. So I had this grand idea to put these wicker baskets, which I love and I think are so cute, in Josie's 6 cube organizer, but Jax loves to come in and just dump the buckets, and for my own sanity, I cannot put the clothes back in there even just once a day. It just drives me nuts. So I'm now storing these up high in her closet, and so only I can access them. And yes, it's not frustrating, but it's just like different than what I was anticipating, but it works out for now. And I'm hoping to get a dresser in her room. I didn't think there was a need for one really, just because she had such a huge closet. I figured we could do something cool in her closet, but we're reaching the point where I definitely think we need a dresser. She needs a spot for underwear now that she's potty trained, socks, swimsuits, like all those good things. I want to be able to keep some shorts and short sleeve shirts out year round, and then vice versa in the summer. I want to keep out a pair of sweats and some sweatshirts, just because you never know what you'll come across. Oh, I also wanted to show you this post-it note, because as I'm going through my kids' closets, I'm taking note of items that I think that they need for the season. So for instance, my son has a really heavy jacket, but I want to make sure we get a lighter weight jacket for those days and months where we don't really need a huge puffer coat, but we do need something. And I also want to make sure that I get my daughter some just basic black leggings, just those things that I don't want to forget. I am going to write down on the post-it note. I'm going through the socks now, and I'm just deciding what socks are we going to keep and what are we going to get rid of. I don't ever really donate socks that are used just because they're dirty, they get holes in them. So that is definitely one item that I don't donate, but I am going through the socks because sometimes like less is more, and if we don't have as many options, things don't take as long. We don't have as many socks that are missing partners and pairs. So it's just nice to go through and make sure you're keeping the socks that you want to be able to use on a regular basis. So the system that I have in my daughter's room right now is that I have these 3 baskets. In one basket I have swimsuit, socks, and underwear. In another basket I have bottoms, and in the third basket I have tops. So those are just like basic tops and bottoms, and then the nicer tops and bottoms I do hang, and then I'm hang dresses and pajamas as well. I think if I had a dresser, I would definitely, put the pajamas in the dresser, put more like majority of the pants in the dresser and really just hang up like the nicer things and the dresses. But this works totally fine for us right now. I'd also love to have a space in her dresser, or maybe just allocate one of these bins for holiday clothing. I love all of the Halloween and Christmas especially clothing, but we also do like things for Easter, 4th of July. So I feel like there's always some sort of seasonal clothing that I have, and I'd like a specific space for it. So it feels so good to declutter the clothes and be able to see everything and have it all spaced out, have the blankets folded nicely. So even though I didn't buy anything, I didn't change the layout of anything in her closet, it still feels so good just to know that I've gone through everything and it's decluttered, clear, and ready for the fall and the winter. So now I'm in my son's room, and truthfully, I did recently declutter in here just because for sizing wise, he moved up a size about 2-ish months ago, maybe 3. So it's not terrible. So you'll see I'm not taking a ton of stuff out of his closet just due to the fact that we recently changed over his closet because of sizes, and I didn't fill up too much with clothes. He did get clothes from his birthday at the end of August, so he was able to get new clothes in his new size. But we are just going through the closet, and then I will show you, I do go through his dresser and just make sure we have everything changed out seasonally. So it's always good to go through closets also to refresh yourself on what you have. Now that the Christmas items are coming out in stores, it's just nice to know, how many red sweatshirts do my kids have already, and maybe I should buy green instead of red this time, those kind of things. I also found PJs for my son that had pumpkins all over them that I had forgotten I picked up early in the season, and so I would have been so disappointed in myself if those got hidden in the back of the closet and he never wore them for this season. That would have been such a bummer. So it is good just to go through and refresh your memory on things. I know I can get into a rut myself of wearing the same things. If you've watched many of my videos, you've probably seen the same items that I've worn, and I know my kids can too. My daughter, she has her favorite dresses that she latches onto, and so you can kind of forget what you've gotten, and I feel like I get disappointed because I feel like it's a waste of money when I do that. So it's always good to refresh your memory, even in your own closet as well as your kiddo's closet. So my bottom drawer is just full of sheets, wipes, and diapers. And then the next drawer up, I am storing swaddles for the next kiddo, and I have burp rags, shoes for my son, and then socks. I ended up taking these like spit up bibs out just because I didn't use them with my daughter. I haven't used them with my son, and so I'm going to donate those so they don't just sit in the cabinet and they go to someone who will use those. In the top drawer, I've got a space for long sleeve shirts, pants, short sleeve shirts, and shorts, and then I am keeping a swimsuit. I like to keep at least one swimsuit out. You just never know if you're going to go to an indoor pool. Maybe you're going to travel and your hotel has a pool that you can go at. So you just don't know, and I think it's just good to have those on hand in case you need them. You might notice my hot pink post-it note that is filling up, that I had to move on to the next post-it, and I just think it's so smart to write down the things that you need. That way you're not buying doubles, you're not over consuming, and also when you get to an instance in where you are needing those items, you actually have what you need. I know last year I went like a month and a half without my daughter having black leggings, and it drove me nuts because I'm just like, she just needs a simple pair of black leggings. But by the time I realized it, I just couldn't find anywhere. I had a brand new baby that was due in August, so I wasn't going to go to stores, and I really needed to find things online. I couldn't find what I wanted, or it was sold out, and so it's just good to get these things early. That way you know you have them. So I pulled this bucket out of my son's closet. This is something I recommend that you do, is just keep an empty basket at the top of the closet and put clothes that no longer fit into this bin. So typically what I do is I wash the clothes and then I toss them in this bin. So I do know everything in here has been washed. I'm just gonna go through and fold it all so that when I put it into a space bag, it's a really easy, quick process and I'm not sitting there folding things forever. I also like to double check the clothing to make sure there's no stains and to make sure that I definitely want to use it for another kiddo. If I look at it and I am thinking, you know, I'm really not going to put another kiddo in it, then I'm either going to donate it or throw it away depending on the quality and status of the clothing. I think it would be silly of me to keep something and store it if I'm not going to use it again. Well, I was hoping to get to my closet, but we did not have time for that this week, which is totally fine. I am just going to choose to be happy with what I did get done. This is absolutely it. Here's an overview of my son's closet. I hope that this video was enjoyable. I hope that you got motivation from it. I am so happy that you decided to click on this video, watch, hopefully stick around to the end, and I hope to see you next Sunday. Bye.